The leaders that I work with that become the greatest communicators do this one thing. And this one thing is in danger of putting me and my team out of a job. So when it comes to performing and public speaking and communication, one of the things that we always talk about is that it takes layers. So it's knowing who you are, knowing your message, knowing your audience, then thinking about your story, then thinking about how you're delivering it and rehearsing it, and then you perform. But it doesn't stop there. When you have done that performance, you go all the way back round in a review process. And that means doing the one thing that everyone tells me they hate doing, and that is watch yourself back. Watching yourself back will do two things. One, it will raise your self-awareness, which is so vital when you are looking at how you're coming across as a communicator and as a leader. And number two, it will give you the opportunity to know the work that you need to do. And the reason that I say this might put me out of some work is what I often say to people is that once you have watched yourself back or allowed yourself to watch yourself back, then this happens. You're your own best coach. You know the things that you want to work on. Now, just to reassure you, in the moment of watching yourself back, what largely happens is people watch themselves back. They watch themselves for that first 30 seconds and they do this. Oh no, I don't want to watch myself. I don't like hearing myself. And then they go, oh, that wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, which is really reassuring because largely we walk around and we communicate with people and we have no concept of how we are coming across. So you might go into a room, you'll be really nervous because you don't know how your message is going to land because you have no idea what people are seeing. One of my favorite things to do in our workshops is when you say to someone, right, how confident do you feel right now? And I get them to write it on their little bit of paper out of 10, and I'll put it to one side. And then they'll do the performance and I'll say to the audience, how confident do they look? And when you look at someone, they'd often look about 6 or 7 out of 10 confident at worst. And what will be written on that piece of paper is maybe 2 or 3 out of 10, which means that you think you're a lot less confident and you're really nervous and everyone can see it. And then you see yourself on camera and you see what everyone else sees, which is that 6, 7 out of 10 confidence, which right there gets you to feeling more confident about your outcome. I mean, I don't know if you're watching The Traitors. We certainly are in the business right now and in our family. And the thing that always strikes me about The Traitors is it's really hard to tell what people are thinking, right? We can't read people's minds. Even from the expressions, you can't always tell what's going on. And so externally, you're often coming across a lot more differently and probably a lot better than you think you are in your head. And that's where there's an opportunity to be gained. So watching yourself back, even listening to yourself back, is really key. There are some really great techniques for this as well. So it's almost like, you're nervous about watching yourself back. You don't really want to watch yourself back. How do you watch yourself back? Do you just watch yourself? Well, there are kind of 3 ways that we do it. Number 1, watch yourself back without the sound on. And that gives you an idea of what the movements are doing, especially in a presentation. You start to see those leaky body movements that don't really mean anything. Then I ask people to turn off the screen and turn the sound on and listen back, just like with their eyes closed, so that you can hear yourself. Just as an aside, I think that voice is really dramatically underrated as a performance tool. And when you know how to use your voice, you will win in all markets, so on all platforms, because really, when you're doing an online presentation, no one's really looking at you. They're using your voice to find out how you feel about something or whether they should be engaged or if they're interested or not. So utilising voice and hearing yourself back without watching you can really help. And then watch it all together. But the one thing I always say to people is when you've done it, I want you to tell me what went well. Because as I said, you're your own best critic, really, rather than coach. And the easy thing to do is to look at it and go, oh, I didn't do this, or I didn't do that, or I didn't do this. So watching yourself back will give you the opportunity to coach yourself. So know what is good about you. I can't tell you, once you know what you're good at and once you know what's really landing, it's a superpower. It's like, I know I'm a really physical presenter on stage. And so if I've got space and I can use it, I really focus in on doing that with purpose. Whereas if I've got a really great voice, I'd be leaning on that. Or if I find out that I'm actually people find me quite funny, I'd be leaning on that. Stepping into who you are is how you let the audience in. So when you get the opportunity to watch yourself back, and listen, there is one more thing I want to share with you, which I find with my clients goes really, really well. Watching yourself back doesn't just have to be for presentations. Some of the most dramatic improvements we've seen in how people are coming across is when they have watched themselves back doing a meeting, or watched themselves back in an online meeting, or even just filming themselves while they're chairing a meeting, whatever it is, almost in real life scenarios. Make sure that you give yourself the opportunity to record and watch yourself back there, and you'll find a dramatic improvement in the way that you're communicating, because you'll see yourself and go, oh, I need to say that there, or I could have done better with this there, or listen to how that person asked me a question and I could have responded in a better way. So this is really key to you and your leadership and knowing how you come across. Make sure that you are always watching yourself back. And I know you hate it, but hey, once you do it, you're going to see some dramatic improvement. Remember, every single week I'll be here in your inbox if you're on the mailing list. Subscribe in the episode notes if you're not, or I'm here on YouTube for you and in LinkedIn as well, for you to be able to improve your communication skills as a leader, and keep your eye out because there will be workshops coming up. Remember, great communication will change your life, including the way you talk to yourself, and I'll see you next week.